Welcome to the Guuuzan Show. I'm your host, Brad Guzan. Sat next to me is none other than Mr. Joe Freihofer. Joe, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Excited to start this new chapter of now podcast host. Not quite sure what we're doing, but we are going to figure it out. I'm excited to be here. I'm a talker. I know you are. And being able to talk shop, chop it up, and we're going to be talking all things life, soccer, Atlanta, not just Atlanta United. And so this is a podcast for all soccer fans, all fans of hopefully ours. And like I said, I'm excited to be here, man.
Fired up, thrilled to get stuck in with you today. Second chairs, big honors. And let's let the audience at home know we are not alone in this show. Let's toss it over to the control room as well. If we go from left to right, we've got there on the far left, this is Ravi, otherwise known as the CIO, Chief Innovation Officer. In the middle, we have Chris, who he's been known to give himself nicknames. He's kind of known as Lightning Lou right now, big six-man, like just a Swiss Army knife. Utility, can do it all, but he's given himself nicknames here.
I mean,
are we allowing this?
Is that a red card? A yellow card? I mean, I don't know.
Show one, he's getting sent off?
Yeah, I mean, seriously. We're going to need to come up with our own, and that's going to stick. So we'll let you guys chime in as well.
And then on the far right, we've got legend of the business of the club as well, Matt, also known as Mookie, and he is steering us right here today on episode number 1 with a lot to go down here today.
Hey, we're excited to produce this. This is something we've dreamed about for a while. I've talked to Brad. I wasn't trying to force him to retire, but I knew he'd be really good at this. But hey, Brad, we do have a message for you. You probably heard it in the intro, but we had a few people record a good luck welcome message for you, and here it is.
Can't wait to watch the podcast.
Hope you like your new show, Dad.
You're the best dad in the whole wide world. I love you, Dad.
And now, welcome to the Guuuzan Show.
Let's go.
I love it. They have been tremendous supporters of myself, not only as a dad, but as an athlete, as a competitor on the field, being able to go home to your kids. There's no better feeling. And my 6-year-old, he just, he in his eyes has learned to roll his R's, and so he walks around the house doing that all day. Doing that all day. And so I'm glad he was able to get that in and make sure he's letting the viewers know that, hey, I've got those R's down. Mine, even though he's missing a few teeth.
Listen, hey, I was going to say we could start the show every time with that, just a little, just to get it going.
Exactly.
Could you unpack for everybody at home, by the way? So you've got all that going on at home. You've also got your new role here with the club. I walked into a marketing meeting the other day saying hello to everybody. What's up, Sekou? Adam, how you doing? What's up, Brad? Brad Guzan, just sitting there, chilling at the boardroom.
I know.
What have you been up to?
It's. Look at. I mean, I'm sitting in meetings.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's been a transition. I am club ambassador as well as sporting advisor, and so I'm learning all the tricks of the trade, all the work that goes on behind the scenes that make a professional club run. So I'm learning all the different departments and going to be shadowing all those different departments throughout the year and seeing how it all unfolds. And Atlanta United is so fortunate to have such wonderful people that make this club what it is. We're lucky in terms of the supporters, of course, and the product on the field. But there's so many people behind the scenes in the front office that make this club so great. And so being able to see those folks on a more daily basis, it's been exciting, a little bit challenging at times, but it's been a good transition.
That's what I was going to hit you on. Be honest. Have you gotten past the password page on your laptop yet?
I'm glad that the laptop has one password and it unlocks everything, because if it was more than one password, I think I'd be in trouble. I'd be visiting IT a lot more than I already am. And so that part's been a little bit easier than I anticipated, which I'm when it comes to the tech, I'm going to need as much help as I can get. And so the one password, the finger protected, fingerprint password protection.
Listen to him trying corporate jargon,
all the things. I need the easiest way in.
Well, we're starting out flying with episode number 1. Who have we got today? Who's first?
Well, listen, we've got a whole list of wishful guests that we're going to be having here on the podcast show, and I'm excited for this guy because, for someone that has a connection to this club from day one, someone that calls Atlanta home, he's an implant like myself and has now settled here with his family. We've got none other than Kev Egan, and someone that is a big football guy. Obviously, his voice has become synonymous with Major League Soccer through his work at Apple. But he's got a few other, I don't want to say skeletons, but he surely has a few, tidbits that we may not have fully known beforehand. And so I'm excited to have him on the show.
Sounds like he's been steamrolling you on the pickleball court as well. So heads up, we'll get into that in a little bit. But Kev Egan, let's roll into it.
Absolutely.
Atlanta, get ready. World-class soccer, electrifying goals, unforgettable moments. It all happens at Mercedes-Benz Stadium with Atlanta United. Whether you're a day one supporter or new to the beautiful game, this is your chance to be a part of it. Grab your single match tickets and watch the Five Stripes take on the league's best. Want to catch every moment this season? Season ticket memberships start at just $630, with access to every home match and exclusive member benefits, including Apple TV.
And now we welcome in our first guest ever on the Guuuzan Show. None other than Mr. Kevin Egan himself. Welcome to the show.
Bud. Get in there, Kev. Great to have you.
Well, this is unbelievable. You've got your own show?
Hey.
Joe, this is weird for you and I.
This is strange waters. If this thing steers itself sideways, it might either be his fault or mine, but definitely not yours.
I know,
but thank you so much for
I
coming
just don't want to
on,
be
man.
like a Franco Escobar. I don't want to get in his way,
Kev, I promise I'm not going to send you to the hospital.
Okay.
No, we're excited to have you, man. And listen, this is new territory for me. I know you're used to being in this chair. I've taken a page out of your book. What advice you got for me?
And
dude?
Joe's too. He's a pro, this guy. I love
mean,
Joe's work.
honestly, so if what you're saying, if this thing goes sideways, that's
It's
definitely
on
my
you.
fault. Yeah,
It's on you.
100%.
No pressure, no pressure.
I think be yourself, Brad. Have fun along the way. This man is so popular in the game of soccer here in the US and abroad. So lean into it. Get your contacts on. I want to see some old Villa heads on here too.
Hey, love that. It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing to get some on. But like I said, we wanted to start with you because for what you mean to this city, to this club. I know you go way back. I don't know if everyone out there listening knows that you go way back when it comes to Atlanta United.
I do, and it's the weirdest thing, and it's the weirdest honor and privilege, quite honestly. When I was working at BeIN Sports back in 2015 or 2016, I'm guessing 2016, Darren Eales and Carlos Bocanegra went on a media tour around Miami. And they were guests on my show at the time. It was The Extra. It was a midweek, Monday to Friday show. And they joined us, and they were talking all things Atlanta United. Now, I had worked with the Chicago Fire 2012, some games, 2013, 14, and 15 full seasons. And I missed MLS in 2016. I covered it as much as humanly possible on BeIN Sports, but I really wanted to get back in, and I didn't think it would be via Atlanta United, and the guests on the show that day. And we had a great laugh, a great chat. They got me excited by Atlanta United, didn't think anything of it. And then I got a phone call off Darren Eales, reached out saying, hey, would you be available to do the first 5 games on Fox Sports South for Atlanta United in 2017 before the commentator Alan Green was set to take over then later on that summer. So what an honour to jump out and do 5 games, and then this fella by the name of Matt Moore, your boss, your gaffer.
Mookie, yep. Shout out to the production crew. I think they're in there somewhere. Mookie, show yourselves.
No, I owe so much to Matt, and he gave me a call then to get back involved for the following year, which ended up being 2018, and the magical run. So
five games turned into forever.
Yeah.
Here you are. You're
I don't know about forever. I'm not allowed in here.
No,
I mean, Cliff at the door nearly stopped me.
Listen, you and me both. My code works sometimes. That's the sign when the code stops working, Kev. That's when it's. You read the writing on the wall, and it's time to move on.
I must say, though, I didn't know a whole lot about Atlanta beforehand. I actually did a US Open Cup game here with Chicago Fire and the Silverbacks. I think it was 2013. I remember Jeff Laurentowicz scoring a penalty straight after his child was born the day before out at Silverback Park for Chicago, believe it or not. So before he obviously came to Atlanta. But I didn't know a whole lot about the city. And then the first game in the city was the 20th of May, which is my birthday, 2017. Atlanta United, Houston Dynamo. You had yet to arrive. It was Alec Can in goal. Miggy scores a hat-trick. Andrew Carlton makes his debut, at 16 years of age. Tata got sent off. The weather was horrendous. The audio failed. The 17s took over for the national anthem. This was one of, I think when you ask 17s who were in it from the beginning, what is one of the most epic games? I think most people will bring up that rain delay on May 20th, 2017, and a 4-0 victory, maybe 4-1. Julian Gressel also scored. Just a phenomenal night out.
Love that. Love that.
Kevin, I want to get into the weeds a little bit for the people out there that are not familiar too much with the commentator world. If you could unpack, I think of your voice and I think of another peach for the Paraguay and just an iconic pairing.
Wait, was that an Irish accent there, Joe?
Yeah, another peach for the Paraguay. I'll say that. When you go back to those moments, what kind of preparation for you went into calling some of those first matches at Bobby Dodd? And how did that phrase of peach for the Paraguay, how did that come to be?
Honestly, that was funny because that Peach from the Paraguayan was walking into the stadium, and at the time Miguel Almiron was actually getting criticised by the masses. He hadn't been Joseph was showing up. Tito Villalba was incredible at the beginning. Remember, and I'm sure you were watching the games from over in England, keeping a close eye on what was going on. Miguel was good, but not great. Not the Miguel that we then grew to know in 17 and 18. But that game was like a breakthrough. He was absolutely outrageous. He was that Energizer bunny. He was picking up every breaking ball. He was starting all the attacks, scored a hat-trick, obviously. The third goal was a penalty, and it was just one of those moments where everyone realised what we had in Miguel Almiron. And as we're walking in, I'm chatting with Dan Gargan, who was the analyst at the time, and I said, I think Miguel Almiron's ready for a breakout game. He just feels like he's ready for a breakthrough. Because Tata had been speaking that week about what he was seeing in training from Miguel. And he had given us signs that Miguel was starting to settle. Things were coming around for him. And I said, what'll I say? I think it's something like peach and Paraguayan. And he's like, I like that. Go with it. And then that's it, yeah.
I love it.
But usually I don't try and plan those things.
That's what I was going to say, right? Sometimes it's in the moment. But so it was leading into the stadium? As you were entering in the parking lot,
it was just chats.
Just natural. It just comes to you.
Well, no, it doesn't. That's the thing. Some people are so talented at that. But I think in the moment, if you plan too much, it usually doesn't work out like that. Like I had Joseph's goal, the goal that I included in the recent clip that I posted at the bar, when Joseph equaled the record, 27 goal record in Major League Soccer. I had this big thing about a stage and the Venezuelan on this, and it was a load of rubbish, a load of BS. And when I think about it now, I would have messed it up because in that moment you just have to feel it and go for it. And the most important thing in broadcasting, obviously the storytelling and this preparation, but it's passion and understanding the moment. And if the moment gives you a 10 out of 10 moment, you better meet that moment. Don't fall short or don't go overboard. You know what I mean? Don't, for the sake of being dramatic and passionate, try and push it too much. If it's a goal for a 4-1 in a game and you go to 10 out of 10, it doesn't really meet that moment. It overdoes it. So it's about finding that balance. And all I said in that moment was 27 goal record, the Venezuelan has it. And then the 17s took over. And sometimes when you're at the bends, the best thing to do is lay out because the 17s deliver like no one else.
The atmosphere takes over for sure. And professional as always, Kev, and you give us a glimpse into kind of what you go into preparation, going into these games and whatnot. Your voice has become synonymous with Major League Soccer, with the sport in this country. And I will go as far as to say iconic because I listen to when you commentate on games, when you talk about the game, you do it with such passion, with such love for the sport. And so from all of us soccer fans, we appreciate what you do and
that's too kind.
How you have grown throughout your career. Going way back, you touched on it earlier. We go way back, Kev. We go way back.
I dipped into this lad's DMs. No joke at all. How embarrassing is that?
I mean, listen, Kev, that's how it was done back in the day. Good old Facebook. Now you've got all sorts of other methods of communication.
So my second cousin, Kyle Higgins, who's a friend, Kyle went to school with Brad. So around the same time, and then I ended up moving in with a guy called Mark Ryder, a friend of mine, who also went to school with Brad, but I think high school. And Kyle was before that. Yep. So it was around the same week that I was living with Mark, but also Kyle had been visiting Chicago and we went out for beers and chatting away. And he said, who's your team in England? I said, Aston Villa. He goes, my boy Brad Guzan plays for Aston Villa. And then Mark said the same thing. And Kyle was like, drop him a message on Facebook, say we're cousins, say hello. So I did. It's cringe. Actually, the more I think about it now, it's cringe. But I was totally fanboying here with Bradley. Bradley Edwin. I was dropping him a little note here saying hello.
I love it. I love it. No, it's yeah. I mean,
What were you thinking back there? Were you like, oh,
look,
this
look
guy's
at that.
like...
We're at the
There
Chicago
it
Fire
is.
game when you started off
Yeah.
early days.
And I thought, Joe, you're
Look at the
you're
baby
Joe,
faces as well.
Hang on, Joe, look, you are a fashion icon in this city now. Talk to me about my get up here. What, like, can you break it down? Because it's a solid 1 out of 10.
Listen, good combo.
Stop,
tie
Joe.
is tied
Joe,
well.
Joe, you
Not
can
a
be
gap
honest.
between that top button, which is a
the
good
most
sign.
important thing about the Guuuzan Show is that we're honest in this room.
That's right. That's right.
That is not.
Kevin.
That is shocking.
I mean, listen, I don't know if I would have went for that color, but you know,
Yeah.
you're pulling it off.
It was. I
kind
was
of.
broke. It was.
I'm pretty sure that's the middle of summer during the break of the
It
Premier
was
League
a.
season.
Do you remember the store Michaels in Chicago?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a Michaels like $29.99 suit. That's what we were doing back then.
I love it.
I want to also point out the Nike skateboarding shirt from
Hey,
you right there
listen,
as well,
throw
too.
it-
Just
throwing it
popping
way
some
back.
ollies on your way to the stadium. You never know.
Skateboarding was not in my childhood, but apparently that T-shirt was.
Did you? We're seeing you in Chicago. There, you're a Chicago boy. Did you think that if you were to come back, if you were to come back to MLS, it would have been Chicago versus Atlanta? Like, isn't it funny how life just takes you on these unpredictable roads?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's certainly a story there for another time, but that was potentially where I was looking, of course, wanting to be back closer to family.
Your wife's from there too.
Yeah, my wife's from there. All of our family's still back in Chicago, and so being in England for 9 years, it was getting to that point. We had 2 young kids. We wanted closer to grandparents and whatnot, and luckily for us, Atlanta United came in and we pulled a little bit of a tight turn down south, and here we are, and now we call Atlanta home. It's a city, as you talked about,
Same.
being able to fall in love with this place in terms of the community, in terms of the city, everything it has to offer, and it's been phenomenal. And so we enjoy it.
My family can't get over how beautiful it is here. They say it all the time. And Ireland's a beautiful country. My parents come here and they come out. I live up in Roswell, and they come up to Roswell. We get out in Canton Street or just go for beautiful hikes.
Such a great
The
night.
trails, everything about like, raising a family in this city is just a beautiful thing. And I feel so lucky, so blessed to be here and be welcomed into the city by so many people at the very beginning was just so important for my wife and I.
That was something I wanted to hit on as well, Kevin. If we go way back to before you even got to Chicago, before you got to Atlanta as well, was there a specific moment for you that made you say, I want to work in football journalism?
I think as a kid, I always watched Match of the Day on the BBC. The Sunday game was Gaelic football and hurling. That's our national pastime in Ireland. There's a show called The Sunday Game. And I knew I was never good enough. Brad seen me play. I was probably never good enough to go. I was much better at Gaelic football than I was at soccer. Gaelic football was my number one. Soccer I was obsessed with too, but I'd always play both. But Gaelic football, my dad actually has 2 All-Ireland medals with Dublin in the 70s. That's like our Super Bowl or whatever. So he was a great player, and he was my coach growing up, and I was just obsessed with Gaelic football. So when I tore my ACL when I was 19, and I started looking around, I'm like, I need to get into TV here because I love TV. I love watching these guys on TV. And I didn't know whether I wanted to be on air, be a producer, a director. I had no idea. All I knew was I love live and I love entertainment, television. I just love that atmosphere. And I'm not a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday guy. I'm not an office person. I'm terrible.
Neither is he. Yeah, he's still getting used to it.
Transitioning. Transitioning. Taking a while.
Microsoft Outlook is a tough thing to figure out.
No, don't put me on Excel. On a serious note, I can barely remember my password for my phone.
I'm gonna start adding things to your
What would I
calendar.
be doing
Kev.
without facial ID? Seriously, it's embarrassing. So I'm lucky. I'm
Face for the camera, you know?
No.
Get in front of
This
the
is just a
camera.
podcast. This isn't a visual medium, right? But I'm lucky I landed at TV. I started making tea and coffee on the Olympics in 2004. In Ireland for our national broadcaster RT, and that led to then cutting tapes, to doing graphics, to working pretty much in every role behind the scenes. And I always say this, if there's anyone young watching this show right now who wants to get into this industry, work behind the scenes. Like, I know the stuff that you're doing behind the scenes here, you garner such a greater appreciation for what happens and how a show is put together. So then when you're actually in the host chair one day and all sorts of stuff is going wrong behind the scenes, like, you know that the graphics machine has crashed, for example, and you can understand that because you've been there, I think it actually makes you a better host. I think it puts you in a better position where you're conditioned by your past, and then you can ad-lib, you can fill, you can make sure you're good to go, and help out everybody. And you have a greater appreciation for what everyone does behind the scenes, which is important.
And if you end up in the host chair, then you just blame everyone else.
Then you
know
wing
what I
it,
mean?
Bradley.
Just like on the field, Kev.
Then you just wing it.
You just blame everyone else, you wing it, and you hope for the best,
Yeah.
We've got a few images of you, Kev, up doing exactly that. With your boys from Apple.
Yeah.
WWE.
Corey Graves.
Talk to me before we get into Apple, right? Because I know there's been some changes.
There's Big
I
E
mean,
or
talk me
Truth.
through that photo. I mean, you've got some iconic photos with some pretty unbelievable talent throughout your time at WWE. Talk me through how that transition was to go from football into WWE and back to football.
So, I mean, when I think about it, I was in school obsessed with, say, for example, the Man United-Arsenal rivalry with Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. Excuse me. You just got me a breakfast right before I came on here. Yeah, that was really nice of you, by the way.
What do you mean?
Can you shout out Chef Steve?
Yeah. First, Gev.
Yeah.
Listen, we roll out the red carpet
Honestly,
for you.
bacon,
Whatever you
honestly.
need, bud. Whatever
The
you need.
eggs,
reception at the
avocado.
door when you guys walked in,
Yeah.
too, we were shoving people out of here saying, we got to go. We got to start.
No autographs.
Unbelievable.
Kev.
Not yet.
We got to get him to the room.
But I was saying, back in the day, all I was consuming was our beautiful game and the great rivalries back then. This was when La Liga was at just an all-time level. Ronaldinho doing his thing against Real Madrid's Galacticos, and the Premier League was insane. Every one of my friends in school is going around doing like the Triple H.
I was one of them. I was one of them.
Yeah.
Big WWE guy.
And this was what I was listening to, and I was never into it, and I probably would have been had I just allowed myself to get into it, but I was just so obsessed with football. So then, sure enough, fast forward, I don't know, donkey's years. I'm in a rental house. I'm getting ready to go down to this set that I made in the basement in this rental house because I'm going on CNN International.
'Cause you're dedicated.
It's during COVID.
Top pro.
Well, it's I needed to have something better like yourself.
Yeah,
well
you
done.
have a little-
I mean, people don't know the amount of hours that it took you to build this, Brad.
Hey, honestly.
Seriously, good for you. But I go downstairs, and as I'm on the way down, I get a phone call, and it's an agent working with me, but working obviously with WWE as well, asking would I be interested in going for an audition. That had never entered the realm of thought. So I said, can I call you back? And I remember saying to Meg, my wife, on the way down to do CNN, think about how diametrically opposed we're talking here. WWE and CNN talking football. And I said, I'm after getting a phone call and explained it to her. And Meg's sunshine. She's like, hey, hear them out. Like, go do it. And that's the way I'd like to think I am too. And I'm like, yeah. Like, what have you got to lose? If anything, I was bored silly during COVID, so go and enjoy it and embrace it. And I went and I drove to Tampa and we were obviously all masked up at the time and everything. And I went in an audition and they had me through several different layers of auditions. Every single one of them I loved. Every single one of them I looked around at the professionalism, the blockbuster nature of what they did. The overall production is just next level. And I left Tampa and I drove home and I remember calling my parents saying I'm after auditioning for WWE, and I loved it. I loved it. And I really...
It's okay to admit that.
No, of course. No, I've grown to just truly appreciate everything that they do. And that Vince McMahon did in the past and what they continue to do now with Triple H. It's mind-blowing how these professionals, both the producers and the camera crew are next level, but the superstars themselves, in the ring, they're addressing, say, 15, 20,000 people in an arena, and they're cognizant of where the cameras are. They have to be aware of where camera one is, obviously, and understanding that they're going out to maybe 10 million people around the world. They're so good at what they do. And I think I grew massively as a broadcaster and as a person. You have to have obviously thick skin there to then obviously do 3 years, but football's a real love. Yeah.
Love that.
You posted an Instagram story the other day, and it looked like Bad Bunny was on a table, maybe
Yeah.
about to suplex you or
Seriously.
something as well. Super Bowl just happened not that long ago, too. What was your Bad Bunny experience like with the WWE?
Yeah,
What
he was
that?
involved when I first arrived on the scene in WWE in a feud, and I just greeted him, said hello, whatever else, little small talk, but. He was wonderful, like as friendly, his people that he has with him. He wasn't as big then, and then when he came back for another run against Damian Priest that ended up in Puerto Rico, which I think, to be honest, is probably the best WWE entrance of all time.
Yes.
Bad Bunny rocking
Yes.
out, next level good. He just had a gracious way about him and a wonderful way where he considered himself a WWE superstar, not a global icon. Like he came in there wanting to learn to be the best at that. And that's when you win over everyone else around you, is when you can be a sponge, even though you've have this mega career elsewhere. You come in and you apply yourself, you're respectful, you're a sponge. And that's great advice, I suppose, for any walk of life, right? But Bad Bunny went in there and he impressed everybody, and his match was incredible, and everybody's rooting for him in there, you know? Because he obviously loves WWE, but everybody's rooting for him because of the person that he is. And his Super Bowl halftime show, loved it. We actually, as embarrassing as it is, Meg and I rewound it and we were watching it again and we did it again. Just to catch all the different little Easter eggs that were within it.
So many.
It was so impressive.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. And we talked about, I think we're all wrestling fans here, right? And obviously you've got a real passion. I got one question, Kev. This is going to be the hardest question of the day. Is it real? Is it real?
Damn right it's real.
I love it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
tell me otherwise, you're not going to convince me, because I see the blood, I see the chairs being smashed over the backs, all the things that go into it. True professionals, absolutely.
But it's storytelling. And this is the thing, you suspend belief. You have to buy into the stories of what that are being told. And again, when you can tell a story, and at Rey Mysterio's age, be doing a 619,
amazing! What a legend!
You know,
what a legend!
I have tremendous. It's one of those weird things in life where I loved my time there, but I was also happy I was becoming the host of MLS 360. It was never going to work doing Friday Night SmackDown somewhere in, maybe out in California or Seattle, Washington, or wherever else, and I need to have a meeting the next morning in New York. My time was up there. I was never their long-term guy, and I was never the long-term guy for them. But it's one of those times that whenever I see an old friend, it's a great hug and a chat and catch up. Yeah,
I'm sure Meg was happy to have you home a little bit more as well.
The whole time.
That's going to be a bit difficult.
From traveling so much with young kids. And Bree's a saint. So
we have a question.
Oh wow,
coming from the control room.
Check it out, fellas.
Throw it in.
We were curious, and you've told me some stories. Is it true that if this were WWE, would Vince McMahon be right here yelling at you?
Yeah.
Is that right now?
Yeah, 100%. Of course, it's true. No, you'll have some direction in your ear, mostly from the producer. But yeah, Vince has been in the ear before. Of course.
Love that. Hey, can we go back to the control room, guys? Can we tidy up the background a little bit? My goodness,
this is so good.
What's sad is we did tidy up this morning.
This is so good. The voice of Matt Moore.
We appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? You don't look like you're working hard, but we know secretly you are.
Working hard or hardly working.
Exactly. Kev, you touched on Apple 360, MLS 360.
Dream job.
How has that been? How has that been? We saw the photo earlier with the guys. I've been up there with you guys on air. It's been amazing.
You haven't done a 360, though, have you?
No.
You were in the playoffs.
Yes, I was in the playoffs. Listen, that's past my bedtime, Kev. I'm going to be honest.
I
don't know how you guys do it, because that is amazing in itself. And to be able to stay up and carry that and through the night, look at those guys.
I really hope that, and it's great working with Brad, Sash, Dax, Kaylin. We have such a great laugh. Brad, Sash, and I went on a European tour last year, and we just laughed the whole time. We're constantly playing pickleball. Got you to play pickleball one day.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy plays pickleball like a goalkeeper, right? He's literally diving and he's getting it back over, and you're smashing it to the other side and he's diving, and the goalkeeping coach is watching on our pickleball match and be proud of him. I mean, look at this guy. And he won this. I was raging.
Hey, he's looking a little glossy there as well.
I was sweating like no other. The court was, I'm diving all over the place. I thought this was supposed to be like a nice little retirement sport. No chance.
No, it's great.
1v1 in pickleball is no joke. And Kevin, I appreciate you getting me out there. For 3 days, I was sore. And in different parts of my body, I'm thinking, why am I sore there? And I'm thinking, oh, that's why.
And my buddy that I'm in the gym with just opened the Atlanta National Pickleball Center. It's incredible up in Alpharetta. So I've been going out there. I've been getting a few cheeky lessons because at the weekend I'm taking on Sash and Dax, and they're better than me. But I beat Sash on the last day that we were together last year, and now I'm getting a few cheeky. Don't watch this, lads. And we're getting a few cheeky lessons to try and improve. And I just want to get closer to their level, because I know if I'm on the other end and I'm winning every week, it gets a little bit boring, and I don't want to be that guy for them. I want to up it, so we're really competing every week. And also, by the way, we're at an age. You and I are roughly the same age, right? You're
21, right?
You're a few months older.
21,
41 and 40, and you want to compete at something. I want to compete at something when I'm hopefully 90 one day. And maybe that's simply cards, or maybe I can start playing table tennis, competitively when I'm older. But for now, I'm leaving the football pitch on Thursday nights, and my knees are in bits. I'm in bits. There's 21-year-olds burning me. I'm getting yellow cards early in the matches. It's not working. I'm that old guy now. So I don't mind transitioning to a pickleball game that I know I can play, hopefully, all going well,
91.
fit and healthy until I'm, why not?
Kev, any trash talk from this guy? Like, he spent his whole career in net, wishing he could do that. You know, he's only got his chance when they're coming at him. Is he a vocal guy?
Yeah. No, him and Sasha's a gentleman on the pickleball court, right? Dax is the worst. Brad was up there as well.
I can see that from Dax. What do you mean? Don't put me in the same category as Dax, please.
Dax is the type of guy, right? He in doubles he'll be helping you along, right? But you're competing against him, and I'll mess up a shot, for example, and he'll win the point, but then he'll still feel the need to play coach. I don't want to hear it. Back off. You just won the point. I'm fuming about that anyway. Don't double down on this. Mind your own business. It's not your story, you know what I mean?
You got to tell him. You got to tell him. You got to let him know and put him in his place.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Dax, Sash, he's coming for you guys. He's coming. He's getting lessons. He's going to be flying.
It's great fun, though, I must admit. And those guys, back to 360 for a second, those guys to work with are wonderful. We have a great relationship on air, which means so much. When you're on television in a live environment and you can really wholeheartedly trust the people you're with the knowledge of the game, you can throw them anything. If something goes wrong for me, they can help me out and cover. All those things matter. And we have a great laugh together, but the show itself, I hope, people can join us. More people can join us this year on Apple TV as opposed to MLS Season Pass.
Yep.
There's no more extra subscription. So Apple TV, MLS 360, 7:30 on Saturday nights. It's your red zone versus, like, say, Soccer Saturday over in the UK, where, I think they do a great. Jeff Stelling is full of energy, as is Scott Carson, right? No, Scott Hansen, excuse me, on NFL Red Zone. Full of energy, and that's what I hope to bring and educate while have fun along the way. That's the goal.
You certainly do that, Kevin. You talked about it a little bit. The paywall is no more, and we're all hoping that that's going to be a game changer, right? Going into this season, it's going to be an exciting year ahead. We not only have MLS, we've got the World Cup, we've got all sorts, but
8 games in Atlanta.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. I know you've got your eye on a little team that maybe isn't there quite yet. Yeah. But tell us what your thoughts are there, Kev.
Ireland, where I'm from.
Surprise!
Surprise! You thought I was going to go Haiti, didn't you? Cabo Verde. No, I think if we can make it, the Irish coming to Atlanta will be a celebration like no other. We know how to party. We know how to have fun. Now, in saying that, so do the Haitians, for example. So we've got some great countries coming here that are going to be having a lot of fun. But the Irish have to go to Czechia and win in Prague on March 26th. And if we win that game, it's likely Denmark or North Macedonia that will face on March 31st at the Aviva in Dublin. The Irish.
What would that be like? What would that game be like, Kev? If they're able to
it's sold
host
out already.
that game,
potential game is sold out.
Absolute limbs.
Yeah.
I played there before. The atmosphere, fantastic. Stadium, fantastic. But with everything being on the line during that game, what will the city of Dublin be like?
Nerve-wracking, because we haven't made a World Cup since 2002. We haven't really come close in any way, and our national team has declined an awful lot. And I think now, there were 3 games to go, and I'm on the group chat with my friends from school. We still all keep in touch, and everyone's so pessimistic about it. And they're saying, shut up with the American optimism, Kev. And I'm saying, no, I think we'll win today against Armenia, right? And then this was the day of, and I'm thinking, I think we can get a result against Portugal, and then maybe we need to win in Hungary, or maybe Armenia do us a favour against Hungary elsewhere, and all this sort of stuff. But we're going to do it, lads, believe. And they're saying, stop it, it's pathetic. So we got the win against Armenia. We beat Portugal. Then obviously Troy Parrott had the best 5 days that he'll ever have. 2 goals against Portugal, 3 against Hungary, and that moment is easily. I mean, I have 2 kids, so they should be in that conversation. But I'd say Troy Parrott scoring against Hungary was maybe my favourite moment in my life. It was up there because I had my young son in my arms. Maisie was next to me, my daughter. My wife was laughing, watching. And the goal went in, and I let out this half-second yelp, and I just started bawling, crying.
No.
I couldn't stop crying. It was now I cry for everything these days.
Hey, I love it, Kevin.
I'm crying watching Bluey. The kids will have Bluey on. There'll be some sentimental moment, and I just can't handle it anymore. Home Alone, I'm crying. It's just ridiculous.
That's football.
So football makes me cry for sure. Yeah.
And then on top of that, you got your friends from back home saying, "Kev, you were right. You were right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it."
I know. And in the build-up, I'm going to be co-owner of an Irish pub that's being built right next to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and State Farm Arena.
Let's go.
Called the Irish Exit, and Centennial Yards is looking just incredible right now. And this is hopefully going to be ready to go by the World Cup, the Irish Exit. So all the friends now are cozying up to me saying, "Have you got a couch?
Exactly.
Can I sit at the bar at the Irish Exit and enjoy the World Cup from there?"
We got you. We got a few photos of you walking the layout.
There's
Love
Pierce
that.
White who's leading the charge, and we're with the Dead Rabbit group out of New York they've won World Bar of the Year a few times.
No big deal.
Yeah, no, they're the best in the world, the best
amazing.
operators in the world.
That's
so
fantastic.
We're going to have a great bar. It's going to be a great place to catch a Guinness or a cocktail. Modern Irish hospitality, like a nod obviously to the past, but very much to a successful Ireland that exists today, and it's going to be fun. A lot of fun.
So not only will we have the World Cup, you're gonna be able to go down, have a pint of Guinness with Kev before the game, get into the stadium, catch a game.
I'm already eyeing if there's a midweek Atlanta United game, if there's a game that I can get to later in the year that I'm not broadcasting and bring my family, enjoy the game, and be back at the Bens. I kind of miss being back at the Bens though. I wouldn't swap it because I love the role I'm in. It's my dream job, but the Bens is just infectious. I can't wait.
The Benz is such an iconic stadium, right? And to be able to have that bar outside the doorstep of that stadium, we certainly, I think we need to be able to touch on, the elephant in the room, Tata being back. Atlanta United, back in the Benz. We talked about the feelings from 17, from 18, being able to have him back. What does that mean to someone that's maybe watching Atlanta United from afar, with a close eye, of course, but a little bit from a distance? What does that mean?
I think it's important to offer a perspective maybe that people don't see, and that you guys see here, is that just what a certainly for me, what a lovely man, and a great guy
100%.
that treated all the kitchen staff and everybody outside. And I didn't have really any conversations with him over the years other than just greeting him because I didn't speak Spanish, he didn't speak English. Although there was one time in LA, I wore my wedding suit, right? It was the game that Zlatan didn't even have a shot in the game against you guys. Do you remember? You guys
probably saved them all, Kev.
No, he didn't even have a shot, I said. Parky was on a different level that day, and I think Atlanta United won 2-0. A late goal iced it, I think, from Miggy. LA Galaxy at the time. So after the game, I'm wearing my wedding suit that I thought I was getting a more of a navy blue, but it wasn't. It was a much brighter blue for my wedding that my wife was surprised on the day, right? So she's like, "I trust you. You're all good." On the day, she's walking in the aisle. I was like, "Whoa!" No. So I wear that suit.
Walks back. Kev, go change. Go change right now.
I wear that suit on that game broadcast on Fox Sports South, and the fans had fun with me on Twitter. I still love the suit, by the way, but we're leaving the ground. And Tata walks by and he just looks at me and he goes, "Kevin, electric blue, I like." And I'm like, yes, I love it, Tata.
The only validation you needed was from Tata himself.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love that. That is fantastic. Yeah. Listen, I know there's a lot of excitement around him being back, a lot of excitement with the year ahead, with the players and his ability to get the best out of guys. And you touched on it, it's when you've got a manager that is a good person, forget about the football side of things, but treats people with respect, has time of day for everyone, regardless of language barrier. It certainly, has this feel-good feeling within the organization, within the club, within the training facility.
And that's what Arthur Blank stands for.
Yeah.
That's what Arthur Blank has always stood for. You read his book, Good Company, and the pillars for success and everything that he's been throughout his career. That should be reflected throughout every organization because that's who the great Arthur Blank is. And I think Tata absolutely is crucial in what Atlanta United are doing right now, both on and off the pitch. On the pitch, though, I'm really excited to see what this team can do, to just see Tata and his cape back on the sideline again. I hope he's rocking the cape match day 1 at TQL. But I'm excited again. I think Atlanta United being better is obviously great for Major League Soccer. MLS needs Atlanta United thriving. And at a time like this, it's so important that Atlanta United hit the ground running and have a good year because the city needs to be galvanised again by the club in a World Cup year when we have 8 games at the Bens.
No, hey, you're spot on. You're spot on. And it starts at the top, trickles all the way through the manager into the players, and we want to get that place
When
rocking.
he says at the top, he's talking about himself,
That's
right?
him now, exactly. That was what I was going to ask you as well,
They got
Kevin.
me all doing all sorts of stuff around here, Kev.
How's it been for you from afar to watch this guy, what he's meant to the city, to the club, to step away and now be in a role like he's in today where he's got a podcast right now.
Well,
in 2 hours, he's going to go meet with data analytics.
It's really cool because I'm very close with Liam Curran, who you worked with Liam for. Liam and I are neighbours in Roswell, and Liam speaks constantly about the person that Brad is. And I know this now, the human being, the dad that you are, but what you do in the community for here in Atlanta with Marissa and the great team behind the scenes. That sort of stuff for me always outweighs the football. But the football side of things, how lucky we're Atlanta United to have this guy. Seriously, a US vet, Premier League vet coming over at such a crucial time to offer experience to the younger ones. The Parkies, I shouldn't say the Parkies, Parkhurst, Laurentowicz and Brad in that team means so much. The experienced American in every MLS team, I think, is really important.
I mean, listen, we'll just cut the show there. Kev, cut that segment, just run that on a loop. That's it. No, kind words, Kev. That's kind true. Words. And listen, it's exciting to not only be on the verge of the start of the MLS season. It's exciting for the World Cup this summer. You've got a lot going on. We know that. And so we appreciate you being the first ever guest here on the Guuuzan Show.
Nice.
Again, if it's bad, I apologize.
No, I feel like you should have a tradition, though. Something at the end.
A tradition?
Like a dad joke. Like a dad joke.
Funny you should mention that. We're actually setting up right now, Kevin. We're going to have an email that's going to be going out to all the viewers and listeners.
Nice.
bgshow@atlutd.com. This is going to be a way of people to reach out to the show, leave a little message, a little memory for Brad if they'd like to. That is bgshow@atlutd.com.
Nice. Put it in the memory, run it back, blast it everywhere. Let's hear from you. Comments, good, bad, indifferent.
But give us a bad joke, though. Go on. A dad joke. Dad joke.
I don't.
Do you want one? You ready?
Go on.
I'm clearly ready.
Here we go. Give me something from Bluey.
All right, here we go. I don't have one from Bluey.
Don't start crying.
All right, ready? What's Irish and stays out all night? Patio furniture.
Hey! Oh, Kev. Hey, you know what? We're gonna add that to the show. Unbelievable first show. Thank you so much. We're gonna cut it there.
Great job, Brad. How
It
do you
was
do?
unbelievable.
Unreal.
We can't top that.
Unreal.
Check out Kev Egan's dad joke, but please watch the show
Still
before
cracking
that.
up.
Unbelievable. Always a pleasure, my man.
Yeah, thank you. Guys. Appreciate having me in.
Top man,
Wow.
Kev.
You're
Thank you
brilliant.
so much.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you so much. Guys, before we let you head out here, we're going to remind you that in just a couple of weeks, Atlanta United's going to have their first match at home of the season. So Atlanta, get ready. World-class soccer, electrifying goals, unforgettable moments. It all happens at Mercedes-Benz Stadium with Atlanta United. Whether you're a day one supporter or new to the beautiful game, this is your chance to be a part of it. Grab your single match tickets and watch the Five Stripes take on the league's best. Want to catch every moment this season? Season ticket memberships start at just $630 with access to every home match and exclusive member benefits, including Apple TV.
Again, another big thank you to our guest, first guest ever on the Guuuzan Show, Mr. Kevin Egan. Such a great guy, man. Yeah. He's awesome to just be able to listen to him talk about his passion for the game, what he means to the game in this country, the excitement for the year ahead. Couldn't have thought of anyone better than him.
Class human being, too. A lot of people don't know just how tough it is. I mean, think of the WWE gig, too, of having somebody constantly in your ear. MLS 360 with all those matches all at once, like what he does on a day-to-day. Not to mention that he's just a class guy and is willing to go get a Guinness with you if you hit him up on Instagram. Fun fact out there, way back in my sophomore season, we just chopped it up and looked at reels. And great human being, great member of the Atlanta community, and great first guest as well. We're flying, guys.
I know.
Let's go.
We're off and running. We're off and running. We're excited for our future guests. We're excited for our guests next week. This is going to be a weekly thing, and so I'm excited to be sat here with you, Joe, talking all things shop and having exciting guests on the show. It wasn't so bad this first show. I think we made it.
Not too bad
we got to the end.
Yes, sir.
I think we can only go up from here. So.
That's right. Speaking of going up as well, we want to hear from some of you guys, the fans at home as well. We have got a mailbag here on the show. Whether you're writing in to talk to Guuz and tell him about an old memory that you guys have after a match, or you want to write about the show, something that we should talk about, something we should improve on too. For a couple
there might
of
be a
those
few of those.
suggestions.
Might be a few of those.
Take it easy on us, please, when you're wording those emails. But please, guys, in all seriousness, we want to hear about you, what you think of the show, what you'd like us to talk about. Hit us up at bgshow@atlutd.com. That's bgshow@atlutd.com.
We are kicking off the season this weekend with our first match away in Cincy. Excited for that. Excited for this podcast to get off the ground, get going. Excited for the year ahead. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, thrilling, too, to think about 2 road matches as well. It's going to be, Cincy, tough to start the year as well, too. I can't wait to see how that goes down. Tata is back. Tata Ball is back. The excitement is back for the 17s, too, here. And then the Guuuzan Show as well, episode 1. Unreal.
Been fantastic. We appreciate you guys listening in, watching in. Tell us how you are consuming your podcast. Love to hear from you. But until next week, talk to you soon.